we want to add like contact us section with the contact form, for example. Real quick, we'll set up one with using the plugin, and then the third one on the home site. You see when we scroll down, this is not really good for user to have it's not ADA compliant or 508 compliant. You learned about those things in Vivian's class, I believe. So it's not really readable. It's not good. So we're gonna invert those colors using styles, our styles. So first thing we wanna do, right? Every time we wanna run our gulp in case we do any changes in CSS or JavaScript, so it gets compiled. And then let me open that. We're using MVC WP. That's the one. And we're using, I think we're using this theme. Okay, so we are make this bigger. Good. Yep. Okay, we won't do much in our terminal. We are done with these things, right? When we set up gulp, now we just run it and leave it there. Let's make sure that it's going to run. All right, so now it's watching for any changes. So let's do the styling first. We added here, if we inspect right here, we looked for oh, this is showing up because I don't have internet connection, I'm pretty sure, but we won't be using any of the Bootstrap JavaScript right now. So because remember, we added CDN links to go out and bring them in when I don't have internet connection, like right now. Then you won't load them. I connected in meantime, so I might be all right. Let's see. Yeah, I'm connected in the meantime, so my connection is up. So now there is no error, which means they loaded. So go back to our stuff. We're gonna look for right here this site content. We added padding top of 60 pixels, so you can see when you hover over like that. Where's my laser thing? My laser toy. Always Chrome shows padding as green on your when it highlights on the page itself, and margins are always shown as orange. So that's a quick way for you to see what it's done there. Is it like a padding or it's margin? Just some quick visual helper. But right here we see that we added padding 60 pixels, and here is actually telling us where we set that up. So it's telling us we set that up in _custom.scss on the line 39. So let's try to look at that and see if that's true. So right here it's MVC, which one was it? MVC WP. Okay, that's the wrong one. Okay, we're going to our theme class tutorial, and it told us that we did in custom.css on the line 39. So there it is, right? So it didn't lie to us. So you can really go and find out right there where you said that, so you don't have to remember. You can see it in the inspector, right here. It's telling us that we can find it there. So we want to remove this, and we want to make this font color to be white, and maybe darken that background a little bit. So we can play around right there in the browser itself before we even go further. So we look for that LIA tref. That's where we set the color to be 44141, whatever the color is. So we're gonna make it white, but it's still not really good, not really visible, so we want to darken the background a little bit, but we want to still have that background effect. So navigation bar is the other one, and we can make it black, but then adjust that opacity if you remember that. So we can go to like 70%. So this is very dark, but it's still somewhat transparent. And then when we scroll down, when you have more content, you see how it's like still transparent, but you can see here, I don't know. That's one example how you would do it. You can of course style it much better. And then let's do these changes here. We said we're gonna do the background. It's telling us it's on line 22. We're gonna go up to line 22 and change that background to the one we just played around with. We know that we want to remove this padding that we said before. And then last thing is to, you see how easy it is to, when we nest inside when we do the CSS rules, we do the class and then we say, okay, you indent a little bit, which means all ULs inside this, and then all LIs inside that, and then all A links, href tags inside that LI to be whatever. So it's much easier when you're using SCSS or less than just writing straight CSS. And we want this to be white, which is FFFF 6Fs. Save that. Let's check our gulp. You see when I saved, it ran in 14 milliseconds indeed the whole thing. And we don't have to worry about it, and we come back here, we refresh, and there our changes are now stick. So let's say we're done with our navigation bar, we move that hero image up, and now we can work on making this clickable. So we want, the good experience would be to be able to click the title, right? But you also see when you go and you want to click on the image, that people will expect to click on the image also to take them to that post. And also later we'll do this part. So let's make the image and the title clickable. So we are editing file, and I'm gonna log in so I can see what templates I'm using to make things. Oh, come on. What was it? Yay! Worked. It worked. So when we log in as an admin, we have the admin bar and it shows us the template, right? So we know we're editing front-page.php template file. So let's go in Atom, open that. Front page, there it is, and we look for wherever we're displaying the title. So right here we see we are using WordPress function, the title, which echoes out the title of that post, current post in that loop. You know how we're looping through all the posts, if you remember from last time. Here we're starting the loop right here, and we're saying, okay, loop through all the posts that matches these options. So give me all the posts that have tag featured blog, and then just order them in descending order, and then order them by post date. And this will give us the newest one on the top and then bottom. So it goes and pulls up the first post, and then the second one, the third one. So when it pulls up the post stuff, that single post, the title will just echo the title of that post, and that's, you know where that's located, right? In the dashboard, in our post. When we go and we see, we're gonna look for the third featured block. That's the post we're looking at. We go to all posts, and there is this post, and this is the title. So this function, the title, is just grabbing this string right here, and in the parentheses, those are arguments that we can put. We just say the first argument is, okay, put this whatever you put in the quotes will put in front of the title, and whatever you put in the second parenthesis will put behind them. So just to test, we can do in front and space, and then here behind. Let's say save. Let's refresh our front page. So you see so there is the string of our title, post title, and this is the string. The first parameter gets printed in front of the title, the second one gets printed back. So what we did, we just said, okay, in front of the title put regular HTML h4, and behind just close that h4. So it makes it, so this equals, title and then whatever behind. So this equals that. Just the WordPress way, right? That's how that function works, and you can read about that. I think we looked at that last class. So basically, this is just printing out, but we want to make it clickable. So there is another variable that is available to us when we are inside the loop, when we pull all post stuff, and it's called a permalink, right? That's actually the URL of that specific link, and that's what we want. So in HTML, how you make links with href tag, right? And then inside the href part, you put the URL. So this time we can do that dynamically. We just tell WordPress, okay, just do the permalink inside there. And if you do get the permalink and read in WordPress codex for it, let me see. It says retrieves the full permalink for current posts or post ID. So if we don't do any parameters, it will just pull whatever post we are in right now. When we're looping, right, we're pulling the single post by post. So when we pull post, it will get the permalink, but we will just get it. It will not echo it out. So so that's just gonna give us plain URL. So if we do, let's just do example right below the title. We're gonna open, because we're gonna use PHP. You will always want to open and close PHP tags, and we're gonna do get the permalink, and you do function always like this. You see Rebecca here also we do like this little open and close parentheses. That's in PHP indicates that this is function name. And then when we save, actually we need to echo that. So we want to echo that, and let's see what is bringing us. So it should be under the title. So there it is right here. But it's not clickable. Yes, because it's not link, it's just a text. But it contains the URL that we want. And you see it's changing, it knows what, you see it gives you exact URL, but it's only a string, so we need to put it inside the regular HTML stuff. So let's wrap in front of that, we can write regular HTML. Okay, let's do it separately. Do you see this, or you want it? Is this alright size, font size? Yeah. So we want to do a, and then let's do like this, and do nothing there. Close that a, and then in between the title goes here. Let's save that and see what we're doing here. So this is title goes here, is the link, right? You see that? But it's a link to nowhere now, because we just put this ref, like we need URL. Everyone remembers that, right? You guys remember that from HTML class, from web design class? Yeah, how you make links. This is the basic stuff in HTML.
Can't we just do all that,
so,
like just outside of the H4 tag, up above?
That's what we're going.
Is that where we're going?
Yes, that's where we're going. I just want to do step by step so you understand what we're doing.
I had
so,
coffee, so I'm moving faster.
I can move faster too, but it's not the
it's
point.
fine.
We
It's
gotta go step by step to kind of we don't miss anything, because it's important to understand how we're building HTML, but we are
Yeah.
using WordPress dynamic functions
Yep.
to do stuff for us. Like example here, we don't want to hard code this and say, okay, HTTPS my site URL / and then my blog, and then you change something and then your link doesn't work anymore because that URL doesn't exist anymore. So WordPress gives us this function right here that spits out the URL, and we can use it dynamically. And then so we saw that this echo and then this function, if this gives us URL, so if we take all that and put it inside here, so this will equal that link, that URL string. So now when we save and refresh, and you can see, you barely can see this here where it goes. It says third block, featured block. Then the second one goes second featured block. First feature block. We click, takes us to the first feature block. This is the featured image, and then the text and the comments, and we did not style any of that yet. So, but it takes us where we want to go. So we want to put this link now, instead of having this, just make it so the title uses that link, and that should be fairly simple to do. Just instead of title goes here, we just want to put the wherever we're displaying the title right here, so this stuff. So we just cut this out and put it here instead of this, and now we can actually just clean up a little bit like this. So we are creating the href for the URL. WordPress is will fill it with the proper link, and then it will display the title wrapped in h4s, and it should all work now. When we save, go back, refresh, and our titles now are links. They are going to straight to that blog. So there it is. You see it says third featured blog. You see how the navigation is slightly transparent. I like when I see that. You can make it animate and stuff, but we're gonna do that in Web 2, I promise. We'll do some CSS animations and stuff. So join me. So let's do the same thing for the image, right? So we wanna wrap the image in a tag, and then do the same thing with the permalink, so the image will take us to the same place. So where we are displaying in this section right here, which part is displaying the image of the post?
thumbnail.
The post thumbnail, right? So the post thumbnail is displaying whatever it's set here as a featured image, right? So that's the WordPress function that would, if you want to get post featured image, that's the function you use, the post thumbnail. So the post thumbnail is printing the whole that image tag. So it's the same thing with the permalink and get the permalink. So if we used only the permalink, only like this function, it will print out the whole thing, and the whole, like the whole link wrapped inside tags. So everything will be printed out for us. The same thing happens with the post thumbnail. This, you see, we don't have anywhere emg, the image HTML tag. Everything gets created on the front end. That function will do that for us. So if we inspect that image, so you see it's doing the whole thing for us. It's doing the image tag, adds width and height 150 are determined by this thumbnail parameter here. If you remember last time when Bill asked about the image sizes and stuff, we looked into different which ones are coming with WordPress by default. So they're different. If you say full, it's gonna display the full size of the image, like that huge one when we go to the post. So this is, we don't want that because this is already building the EMG for us. We want to create EMG ourselves because we want to wrap it inside the A. Or the other way is, two ways we can do it. That's one way, or we can keep it this EMG already created and just put A in front of it. So we do the same thing. Basically, we just do A with the permalink because we want WordPress to tell us where to go when you click on that. And then inside that A, we want to print the image, and we just want to close that A tag. Right? So we did the same thing as we did for the title, we did for the image. Does that make sense so far? Yes? No? Okay. Now we refresh. So it doesn't look like anything happened, but we can click now. You see that little pointer there? And then we can click and it takes us to that post. So you see, this is get the post thumbnail full size. So if we go and edit this file, template file single.php, and we say we just add that thumbnail in the parentheses, it will make it 150 by 150. That's how you control the sizes, and you can create custom image sizes. So now our title is clickable, our image is clickable, so we covered our users. They will have good experience because that's what people do. That's what we all do. We either click on the title or the image. And then we want to make this read more clickable as well, and we want it to say read more, right? So that's something we're gonna find out now. Let me see, I don't have it written. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna do now. We just do, let's say, customer, a custom, how to customize. We don't want no coding required because, yeah, I think codex is number one. So this is one way of adding excerpt to your post, single posts. You can go in the post backend, like right here, and we can, let's say we want read more right here after this. So you see how they show here, you can come in and click that more button. So you see in our, that was older version. So right here it says insert read more tag. You click that and it inserts the tag. So if we save that and go to that post, single post page, so that's post, single post by itself. And right here, didn't do it for some reason. That might be the theme feature that we gotta take a look at, if our team supports that. But that's one way of adding the read more. Then you can do, let's see, we wanna find how to change that, modify the read more link text, for example. So you see on codex, and then there you go, you find the way how to do it. And let's try it out. Let's grab this code. It says adding this code to your, let me zoom in. It says adding this code to your functions PHP enables you to customize the read more link text, and that's exactly what we want to do. So let's copy this and see if it's going to work. So let's go. For now we're gonna put this in our own plugin, but for now, just to test it, let's put it in functions PHP. Let's make sure that I'm in run right functions. Okay, and then So what it's doing is, this is the function. You see, it's one line only, so it's very simple. What it's doing is returning us the function. Whenever we call this function, it returns this. It returns basically a tag with the permalink inside. Same thing we just did, but it's going to get added with this filter. So WordPress has hooks. You will hear about that. So WordPress hooks, those are WordPress functions that you can hook into, that you can add your custom code to these things, and they will do certain things at certain times. And there are two types of them. One of them are filters, and one of them are actions. So we already used actions right here. When we did the style stuff, we said add action, and then whenever this action happens, add my class, my function that it's called this. See, this is name or our class right here. So this add action says this is WordPress action, that's a set of functions that happens at certain point of time. And you can read about all WordPress has a lot of actions and filters that you can use for certain things. Basically it covers almost everything you want to do. There is no way you can memorize them, so you can go and search and try to, I mean, the more you're doing, you're gonna memorize a lot of them. They're most common, but there's some of them, they're like this one, you always gonna know. WP and Q scripts, it gets called in that head section and adds stuff that WordPress needs, and also adds, here we say, okay, add to this action our function, and our function will add these CSS files and JavaScript files and all that stuff, right? That's not the right function, so I'm sure it's not, because I'm not, this is right one, because I recognize I don't have Bootstrap stuff there. But anyways, the same action called, so that's action. Action will execute at a certain point of time as an event, right? And filters are changing the content on our site. So action will do something. For example, it can do something in a backend that we don't know about. For example, you want to send email to the admin of the site every time someone posts a comment, for example. That's automatically going to happen, but example, and that's an action that somebody created and said, okay, every time the post gets saved, do this, send email or do something. So those are actions, and filters are happening to change something on the site. In our case, we want to change the way read more link looks like, so we're using filter. And we can go, we could have gone in WordPress codex and go through filters and look for one that it says, okay, this is changing the content more link part. So this filter is coming with WordPress, and always saying here, okay, I want to add stuff to that filter that already coming with WordPress, so I want to add my own function to that. And my own function, it's called modify read more link, which is right above, and all it's doing is returning that href, that it's gonna overwrite whatever is the default. And right now the default is just this, right? It's just this not clickable 3 dots. That's the default that's coming with our theme. So this should change that. So let's save and refresh, and come on. Okay, WP test. What the heck? CWP class tutorial front page. But okay, it might be, oh, you see, it's right underneath. We are using excerpt, right? Remember that we're using excerpt. That's, you can find that right here. We said last time we didn't do the content. If we do the function that is called the content, it will bring us the whole content, whatever is inside that post. But you don't really want to display the whole post on front page because posts can be big, right? So we want to show the excerpt and add that link. So right here in Codex, it's saying, okay, modify the read more text when using the excerpt. So the other function is when you're using the content. So let's just copy this. Oh, come on. And try that in our functions. So replace this, what we just added, save that. So it's doing the same thing. It's getting replaces the excerpt read more text by a link, and it's returning again the A class, and it's gonna say read the full article. But let's just test it to see if it's actually gonna work. So there it is. It added this read the full article, and it's clickable. But I don't like that. I don't like how it says read them. I want it to have to be like a button that says read more. That's just right now as an example, that's what I want to do. So I don't want to do href. I do want to do that, but instead of just a text, I want to have button inside, and I can use bootstrap buttons. Oops. So I just deleted the text, and I'm gonna do button, and I know bootstrap classes for buttons, and you can find that on bootstrap website. You do btn, that's for the regular button, and then if you do btn primer, it's blue one. If you want to do btn, let me show you so we know. So we go bootstrap 4, we go there, and if you go to components right here, remember, I think I mentioned you, Adrian, the other day when we talked about, and then here you have all these different things, but we are interested in buttons right now. You click there, and it takes you to buttons area with examples. So you see, this first one is this first one right here. So all it did is just created this thing with the class button HTML tag with the classes btn and then btn primary. You always want btn for button. But then if you want to use if you want them to look blue like this, you do primary. If you want to do like this, you do secondary. If you want them to be green, you do success. Danger is red, warning is orange, and so on, right? So this is our bootstrap. You can override them, but if you're good with this for now, that's all right. So I like this info. So all I need to do is just add this btn-info class to my button, and will look like this. It will be light blue, whatever that color is, blue, green, depends on how colorblind you are, and it should work. So let's do that. So we added button. It says to add type class, the type button here, and then class is btn, and then btn info, and then we wanna, that's a opening button tag, and then we want to add the text, what it to be inside button. This is regular HTML right now, right? And we just want to say read more, and then we close that button. And so all we did, instead of just text, is inside the A, because A tag in HTML gives us link. So whatever you put between them will be clickable, and it will be link. It can be image, it can be button, it can be anything. So we just added button, and let's see what will happen now. We refresh, and there it is, right? So now we have clickable links to go to the post, and they look like a button, and it says read more. You don't have to do button, you can do regular link, whatever you want to do, however your design is. I'm just throwing examples right here, and we click on that, takes us to the post. We click here, takes us to the post, and you see this is single.php that we haven't styled yet, and we gotta take care of that, because those are all our posts. All our posts will use that template to show. So same way we edited the homepage, that's how we're gonna edit the. So now our feature block section is all ready to go. We have all the user experience or UX for Bilal. He's interested in UX and UI, so this is part of UX, right? You gotta make sure that your users will have good experience, because you can find people click on, or you can find yourself click on the image and expecting to, like, you click 10 times on that image expecting to go, but all they needed to do on that certain website, they just needed to do link like we did, and it will work.